Hi, I'm Tanya Farron. I'm excited to share this presentation with you tonight. I know that you may not have been able to come to the live presentation, but I went ahead and made a recording for you so that you can learn about the presentation that I have available to you called Educator Helping Parents. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with that. I'm going to share my screen so that you can see this presentation. I don't want you to miss a thing. As you can see, this is just the very first page. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it very much. I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Tanya Farron. I have been in education for over 25 years. I am the author of Raising the Well-Adjusted Child, a Parent's Manual. I have been in education in a brick and mortar setting for 25 years, and I'm currently in the virtual setting as an administrator. I'm also a mom of 2 children that are 22 and 25. I'm a wife of 30 years. I do own a company called Creative Living Ideas, and I am definitely a multitasker, and I'm an author. So just thinking about some of the hats that you might wear, you may be a teacher or a paraprofessional, an administrator as well, a parent and or a spouse. So I know that there's lots of things that we juggle in life. And so we all have many tasks to do. So I'm hoping that this will help you in one of your roles. The goal for today is I want to help all parents who are raising their children, all parents. I want to build this great parenting community for parents, and I want to help build positive relationships between parents and schools. I want to collaborate with educators from around the world. I want to help and serve the community, and I want to use my knowledge and experience to help others, and I want to work with you. Some nuts and bolts of today, I would like to collaborate with you. I would like to support the families that we work with, and I've got some ideas. I have some low or no cost options for your schools, and I think getting together is a great networking opportunity with us to meet with other people around the country. So we probably have very similar student populations that we have all worked with. So I'm sure the things on this list are not new to you, that you have seen them before, and you probably are experiencing them as well. I know that we have global challenges as well, administratively, and parent challenges. As an administrator or a teacher, you may have some students that you see often that come to your office, or that you have struggles within the classroom. As an administrator, you may have teachers that are frustrated. You may feel that you're sandwiched between the staff, administration, and parents. You may experience some small wins, but those small wins sometimes just are not enough. Parenting challenges for our parents, their lives are different than they were 25 or 30 years ago. And they need support with parenting skills, because the things that they are dealing with children are things that we had not dealt with in the past. They were not things that they experienced as children themselves. And so it's really important that we support them. What do I do now, right? How many parents have walked into your office or into your school and says, I have no idea what to do now. Please help me. I am at a loss. So my goal is to help us with those situations. I did write the book, Raising the Well-Adjusted Child, a Parent's Manual. I will say it is the tip of the iceberg of things that we can work with parents on in helping them raise their children, but it is an amazing springboard to conversations. So this book can be used in a variety of ways. You can read it as a parent yourself and reflect on it at that point for yourself. You can pass it on to some parents as a welcome gift at the beginning of your school year. You can also pass it on to a parent organization, and they may want to hold a book study with this book, but there's great tips and resources in here, ideas that have been practical. My purpose for writing this book is because I did have those parents that came into my office, and when they would finally say to me, I just don't even know what else to do. we were able to kind of break down some barriers and both really just have a mom to mom conversation together. And that's when the work would actually get done. You know, when we could get real and talk and share stories and come up with ideas together and work together, that made a huge difference in the success of the child. And that is the goal, right? Is to have the success of a child. So here are some of the chapters that are inside the book. The first chapter is lifetime commitments. Being a parent is a lifetime commitment. It doesn't end at age 13. It doesn't end at age 16, 17, 18. I'm here to tell you at 22 and 25, my children still need me very much. And you know what? At 52, I still need my mom. So being a parent is a lifetime commitment, and being prepared for that is important. Creating a united front is important for your children. So whoever is on your parenting team, creating that united front in there, forming connections with your children. The book is written with early years, school age years, and high school years kind of all combined in every chapter. So there's a variation in every chapter. I really say that this book grows with the child. So, you know, as your child might be a toddler, or you have a friend who has someone who has a toddler, you know, they could come back and revisit the book. It's kind of timeless. It makes you stop and think as you go through. So, you know, you can come back as your kids are in high school, and revisit some of these things because life changes and what they need changes. So forming connections at all different ages. You need to form connections with your kids at all different ages. Creating routines in the home, and what does that look like? Improving behaviors, helping students or children make good choices. Practicing discipline. We talk about the difference between consequences and discipline in the book. Promoting socialization. So how do you socialize your kids and get them out into the world? And then some of my favorite pieces, supporting academics and education partnerships. You know, these are the things that I put into the book that, you know, we all really wanted parents to know about, but nobody really wanted to say them. So I went ahead and put those in my book so that parents would know that we really, you know, want to have a relationship with them, the education system and the parent and the student, so that we can all work together. Navigating technology, you know, how do you handle that with your child? You know, what are the boundaries you set up for that? Exploring extracurriculars, you know, what's enough, what's too much, what's not enough. With extracurriculars and children. Dinner table, you know, I'm a strong believer in, you know, eating together, finding time to be a family, regardless of whatever your family unit looks like, being a family and finding some time to get together. And so I kind of talk about some tips in there, like what dinner time should probably be like, as far as like, you know, topic of conversation, things like that, and how it can be a variety of different things. Finding faith. It is not just talking about religion, but spiritualness and, you know, just maybe being one with nature, finding some peace. Self-care activities for parents. I know there's so much out there on self-care, but just a great little section in here. And then fun activities to do with your kids, you know. So these are the things that we as educators tell our parents all the time, different things that they can do that are fun with them. Then there's a closing. And then the end, which is really, I think is just the heart of the book, really is, so what's next, right? Questions for discussion. So the end of at the very back of the book, for every chapter, there's 6 questions. This is the lifetime commitment. This is where I said you can create this as a book study. Your parents can go in and they can reflect on their own. They don't have to share this out with anybody. You know, what do you love most about being a parent? Sometimes that's, you know, you got to think about that. Well, what do I love? It's been a really hard day, but there's got to be something I love. What is the hardest thing about being a parent? So sometimes it's hard to dig in there and find that too. Like, I'm not supposed to say that this is hard, but you know what? Parenting is hard sometimes. Share your favorite parenting story about your child at one of the stages in the section. What resources did you use to become a parent? What's your advice for a new parent? How have your needs of your children evolved and changed? And so that's just chapter 1, lifetime commitment. So for every chapter, there's 6 questions to go through. Again, this would be an excellent book study. It's an excellent reflective piece for parents also, and would be great for a parent group or organization. Also, so this is another free option. So I am on Clubhouse on Saturday mornings and I talk about different topics. For example, this past weekend, we talked about community service and our children and how do we teach our kids about community service. In the past, we've talked about making connections with our kids. We've talked about celebrating parenting wins. There's a variety of things. Most of them are recorded. You could go onto the Clubhouse app, look for creative living ideas, or you can search me, Dr. Tanya Farron, and my conversations are on there and you can take a listen to them. I would love for you to be a part of that. So feel free to, get the Clubhouse app Saturday mornings. Right now I'm doing it about 9:30 Central Time. So on Saturday mornings, and you could find them there. My goal is to build this great parenting village and help support parents with their questions that they have. And there's a variety of parenting forms that are in there. So it's really makes it fun. You get a really different perspective from multiple parents and great ideas that they're sharing. It's not just me talking. So the more people that are in this platform, the better it is for everyone. So I would encourage you to join us to that. I'm sure you have something great to add. I also have a YouTube channel. It is called Creative Living Ideas, Tanya Farron. And I have a variety of free resources for you on here. This one is about 5 back to school videos that you can see. And you can play it. I would normally play it if we were here, but I don't want to spend your time doing that. But, I go through and I talk about, going up to school and taking a visit. I talk about, getting your child ready. What are some of the expectations that you have of school and homework, things like that, having those conversations early, calming any fears, things like that with your children. So this would be great for you to use. It would also be great for you to put out to like a parent night that you have before school for parents to go in and review. So that's a free resource for you. Okay, I also have on my YouTube channel as well, the self-care series, but it doesn't seem to want to show it for you. It's a self-care series as well. That you can watch on there, and it has self-care for you, self-care for teachers, self-care for children. So there's a variety of self-care options on there. And they're just about 3 to 5 minutes. Have done some presentations at some important conferences, have presented at the trauma conference. I have been on some different podcasts, Edge Up podcast, the Kentucky Mamas podcast, talking about parenting. I have written an article for Higher Education Digest on courageous conversations with parents. So that has been published as well. So some things that, again, that we can recap that you can do a book study with your PTO, like self-led. It's a free option. Clubhouse conversations on Saturday mornings. YouTube, you can go to my channel. I have things on explanations about the book. I've been putting out parenting tips, back to school tips, self-care, things like that. Those are free. This is an option for you that we can talk about. So you can reach out to me. We could talk about parent nights. Those are fun. And I also have some roundtable discussions that I've been hosting in the future. I host them at the last week of the month. And tonight we just had a discussion on different types of books that we're reading this summer and what are we working on to sharpen our skills, and shared those with one another. So we'd like to invite you to that down the road. Also, we can come to you. We've got some presentations that are available. Effective conversations with parents, connecting, motivating, building relationships, lesson planning, and then also for parents, expectations, structures, routines, self-care, consequences, and discipline. And then there's always my book to do a book study. So you can purchase a copy of my book or copies of my book. It is available on Amazon, and we can do a book study from that. This is the pricing sheet for me. Standard presentations are $300 for 10 people or up, which I would say is a great price, a bargain price, and then $27 for each additional person. If you want an advanced presentation up to 10 people, it's $480. It includes a free copy of Raising the Well-Adjusted Child, a Parent's Manual. And then a book study session, we can do 10 individuals for $1,500. And then they get a copy of Raising the Well-Adjusted Child, a parent's manual, and then you get a 4-hour-long meeting with myself and a behavior specialist, Teresa Coomer. Obviously, I'm available for consultation if you want to talk about parent nights. And that takes care of that. You can go to my website, creativelivingideas.com. I post a new blog every weekend. I have publication availability to help people that are looking to publish their own book. I have learning opportunities on there, entertaining items, self-care, and items about our children. Would love for you to check out my website, creativelivingideas.com. Sign up for my newsletter so that you don't miss a thing. And I would be thrilled to work with you in the future. So I just want to thank you so much for listening today. If you made it all the way to the end, I greatly appreciate you being here. Please don't hesitate to reach out to me. Again, you can go to my website, creativelivingideas.com, and you can email me from there if you have any questions. I would love to work with you in the future. I hope you have a great day. Call me with any questions. Bye.